What is Postal 2? On the surface, it's a first-person shooter with some offensive humor sprinkled in. My viewers, I have a confession. I have a bit of a side hustle. I murder hookers and sell their meat to wealthy homosexual billionaires. And I'd like to say that selling human meat to gay people and reviewing video games is very similar. When you're cutting open your victim, you don't know if it's going to be good quality meat. Same thing with video games. When I dissect a video game, I don't know if it's going to be a masterpiece or an absolute shit stain. So please, if you want to show support for my hard work, like and subscribe so you could show how much you care for some random person on the internet.
Teach me to
The vibe is one of the most important parts when it comes to reviewing video games. How does this game make you feel? Well, if I had to describe it, it would be like a cheese platter. But instead of cheese, it would be drugs. You're at church, chilling out, having a good time.
Fuck you.
Oh no, you are not talking to
That's the marijuana on the cheese platter. And then all of a sudden, Al-Qaeda attacks the church in the name of Allah. That would be the crack on the cheese platter. You know, the stuff that makes you go But really, this game just feels like one giant South Park episode. I would give the vibe a solid 9.5 out of 10.
You know what's crazy is that rotator fade, meme is, dude, it is still massive.
The story in this game is pretty straightforward. Postal Dude, which is the guy you play as, lives with a mentally insane, hyper-aggressive, nonsensical creature known as a woman. And this woman is your wife, and she gives you a couple of errands every day for a week, and you have to go out and do them, which might seem pretty boring, but usually something a little bit more interesting actually ends up happening. One time I had to go piss on my father's grave. While I was in the middle of pissing, a hillbilly came behind me and knocked me unconscious.
I done busted up his head.
When I woke up, I realized my butthole was slightly larger than usual. And turns out we just recreated a scene from the hit 1994 movie Pulp Fiction. Specifically the one scene in the pawn shop basement, where Bruce Willis has a ball gag in his mouth and there's a gimp looking directly into his eyes. And in this situation, you're the gimp, which is honestly a pretty insane story beat, even for a game like this. And after an insane week of doing some of the most unspeakable acts you've ever heard of, when really you're just trying to do some goddamn errands, Postal Dude does the super trendy Japanese pastime of killing yourself with a 44 Magnum revolver.
Honey, I'm home. You won't believe the day I've had.
About friggin' time. Did you remember my rocky road?
Which I suppose is a little bit more interesting than, you know, hanging yourself in some fucking forest. But all that aside, the story of Postal 2 is a story that keeps on giving. No matter what situation you're in, something is always going to go wrong. And it's going to be your job to fix it. You're kind of like a local plumber, but you're not having sex with people's wives. Now, the gameplay is undoubtedly the second most important part when it comes to reviewing video games. How does this game feel? Well, it feels like a standard first-person shooter that came out in 2003. So pretty goddamn awful. There were much better first-person shooters that came out in 2003. And I'm about to list some reasons as to why Postal 2 gameplay is absolutely awful. So please, pay attention. Class is about to start. Reason number 1. There are only 2 walking speeds. Now, if there are only 2 walking speeds, that means there's no sprint option, which is a big issue because you run away from a lot of minority groups, I mean people in this game. Reason number 2. You cannot aim down sights. Now, I don't think I have to explain as to why not aiming down sights is absolutely painful for a first-person shooter. I'm looking at you, Fallout 3. Another reason why New Vegas is absolutely better. Reason number 3. The AI and NPCs are about as smart as your local school kid in America. So absolutely retarded. The NPCs most of the time will just stand still and shoot at you. That's it. And when you try getting up close to them with a melee weapon, they will just look directly into your eyes as you beat at them with a shovel, kind of like Oblivion. Reason number 4. Fire. The Molotov cocktails in this game are absolutely deadly, unless you use one of the game's best features, your penis. You could put out the fire with your... Oh my gosh. Alright, I think I'm done with this video, man. Thank you for watching. This has been my first review of a video game. First one ever. Hope you bloody enjoyed it. And another review will be here in the future. Thank you for watching.